All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on our daily podcast here at Ellis Michael. We thank you in advance for joining us here today. It is Tuesday, June 9th of 2020. And yeah, welcome, welcome all. My name is Ricky. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Tuesday afternoon. It is a beautiful Tuesday, to say the least. And before we get into a few topics I want to talk about today, we got to get an update on our weather because it is really hot outside right now, as you could probably imagine right now. Um, if I could find, excuse me, if I could find the weather for, hold on, let me pull up the weather for our area here um because everyone wants to know what the weather is looking like. So we're gonna talk about that for a little bit here. All right. So here's our weather for Canton, Ohio for today. Mainly sunny to start, then a few afternoon clouds. And it's going to be near record high temperatures. As far as we know, it was record high for here today. Canton, Ohio is 93. They're forecasting we're seeing highs up in the low 90s, 90, 92 today. And then looking at an overnight low of 74 with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Now Wednesday, tomorrow, we're looking at a possibility of some severe thunderstorms, excuse me, in the afternoon and early evening hours. There is a slight risk of severe weather for Wednesday, tomorrow, throughout the entire state of Ohio, and a marginal risk out to the west. So for tonight. So definitely something to keep a close eye on as well. Currently, we're currently near 90 degrees right now. That's all I know so far. And you guys are up to date at 12:14 p.m. on this Tuesday afternoon and all that good stuff. All right. Now we're going to get to an update on the stock markets right now, because we're going to update you guys on yesterday's stock market update. As a lot of you guys know, the stock markets run Monday through Friday, and it could go up or down. But the Dow Jones Industrial was up 461 points to close at 27,572 from yesterday. That was Monday, June 8th of 2020, the stocks I'm referring to. S&P 500 was up 38 points to close at 3,232, and the Nasdaq was up 110 points to close at 9,924 on Monday, June 8th of 2020. And you guys are up to date on your stock market report at 12:15. All right, so a lot of you guys are probably wondering is how I keep track of how many steps I use for walking. As you probably know, I go walking at least during the week, twice, during the weekends, probably once or more. So far today, well, I made over 5,600 plus steps yesterday. And right now I'm currently at 3,269 steps and getting closer to 5,000 once again. So my advice to everybody that is enjoying this nice weather that we're getting wherever you're watching right now is take advantage of how many steps you're walking by downloading an app called Step Younger. And that is an app where you can keep track of how many steps you're walking and how many calories you're burning and how many miles you have walked. It's free in the App Store. You can download that on any device, mobile device, anything like that. Um, but I love that app so much. It's really, really good. Keeps track of how many steps you're walking, and just basically something to, keep a close eye on if you are enjoying nice weather. Drink lots of water, fluids as much as possible, because the weather, it can get hot, and all that good stuff. 12:17 now on your Tuesday afternoon, as a lot of you all are probably looking forward to a good summer getaway. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, is planning on reopening for the 2020 season. Now, as you probably know, because of what's going on right now with this virus, um, the Cedar Point amusement park was supposed to open in early May, which I think it was May 9th of 2020. Well, now they're opening on July 9th, 2020, um, with a requirement for for um, for guests and workers to wear masks. And I've had this conversation with myself lately. Is that last night, before the story came out this morning, and however, even though that I said, well, maybe Cedar Point is not going to let people wear masks out when, they're in the amusement parks. Because it's with the temperatures getting warm, and the temperatures, and the weather can get, pretty bad, and sorry guys, and the weather could get pretty bad too. Then it's going to be a hard time it's going to be really hard to wear a mask. So for my family and myself, Cedar Point's going to be not happening for me this year. um Sorry guys, you'll understand later. Anyways, as you probably know, Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, along with Kings Island, which is another amusement park here in Ohio that's down near Cincinnati, Ohio. They're planning on Kings Island down near Cincinnati, Ohio, is planning on reopening a week earlier than Cedar Point, July 9th for Cedar Point, and July 2nd for Kings Island. Now, um, basically, they're going to start in phases, just like with the reopening of the state of Ohio, to say the least. And then they're talking about limited capacity. So even though the governor of the state of Ohio, who's going to be on today at 2 p.m. today, probably going to make some more announcements on reopening. So I'm looking forward to that. But June 19th is going to be the date that amusement parks are looking to reopen, but they decided to take it another step further and reopen a little bit later. So pretty much less than a month for Kings Island, almost a month for Cedar Point. Hey, you got to look forward to something, right? Now, I heard that it's not mandated to wear a mask when you go out to Put-in-Bay in Ohio, on Ohio's South Bass Island, um, right along the western waters of Lake Erie. I heard that you can it's recommended, it's required, it's either recommended or not required, or required and not recommended to wear a mask when you go out to the islands. I have no idea, but I would just say, bring a mask wherever you go around the state of Ohio, for day trips, um, and all that good stuff. But As far as I know, with amusement parks, it's not back to business as usual. So, yeah, pretty much something to keep a close eye on all the time. Now, there's a list of all the places that are opening up at least throughout this point in the month of June. June 1st, which was a week from yesterday, Monday, June 8th of 2020. Banquet halls, catering centers were allowed to open at least with possible capacity of 300 people or possibly less. I have no idea either. Daycare centers on June 1st were able to reopen, and then yesterday, June 8th of 2020, outdoor visitations at assisted living facilities are now permitted. That means you can visit on the outside. Excuse me. You can visit your family on the outside. Um, at least for right now, at least until the governor of Ohio um, releases more information when it comes to indoor visitation. Tomorrow, June 10th, is a really exciting day for a lot of these places, and that includes in alphabetical order: aquariums, art galleries, country clubs, ice skating rinks, indoor facility entertainment centers, indoor sports facilities, laser tag facilities, indoor movie theaters, museums, outdoor playgrounds, public recreation centers, roller skating rinks, social clubs, trampoline parks, and zoos. However, a lot of these places that are supposed to open up on June 10th of 2020, which is tomorrow, may not reopen unless they decide to open up a little later to kind of get prepared for. Sorry, guys. To get prepared for to reopen. So yeah. And then Friday, June 19th of 2020, for one day, the last day of spring, the last full day of spring, casinos and racinos and, like I said earlier, amusement parks, water parks. So that's good news there, to say the least. So looks like our summer of 2020 is looking good so far, but just with some restrictions. You know what I mean? All right, so let's move on to something different here. Trying to think here because I'm having a hard time trying to find some more information here. Let me see if I could find something sports related. But yeah, I just want to say really quick is that always take it easy when you are out in public all the time because um, what's important now than before is um, basically you just gotta be prepared 100%. You just gotta bring your masks when you go out in public, wear them, and all that good stuff. So tomorrow we're going to try and have some more topics, but this is just going to be one of these shorter podcasts that give you guys some information. We'll talk about the weather and we'll give you guys some key points on the weather, what to expect tomorrow, and all that good stuff. And yeah, so we thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys very soon. Enjoy your Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow for another podcast. We invite you guys to tune in and all that good stuff. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.